I told you everything was fine. I didn't tell you that because everything's not fine because everyone was overreacting last week and they're underreacting this week. That's what's going to happen. But this is the first week that feels right with the world because the In the Hunt crew is all together, nestled into their little podcast beds, ready to talk some Bills talk. Sean Murphy rejoins Kyle Turner and myself, Greg Bauk, to talk about a Bills victory over the Las Vegas Raiders. So, Sean, worldly, are you a Duke? Are you Duke Murphy? Like, were you knighted while you
I
were
was
over in Europe?
I was knighted in every country. I said Sweeto to everyone, and they didn't know what that meant. And it's good to be back in
what,
America, a
what were your
country that
stops?
Kyle fought for.
That's right. Did they talk about Kyle over there? Like, whoa, thank God Kyle's not here. We would have had to stand up
Yeah, they
straight.
live in fear. They're like Portugal's like we want to take some of America, but big bad mustache Kyle's over there,
Mm-hmm.
and we can't deal with that.
They stopped you a bunch of times, obviously because of the pod. But I bet you one of the things they asked a lot was, "Wait, are you the trivia one or are you the defending America one? Which one were?" Okay, okay, cool. I'm safe. Welcome to
They
our
looked
country.
they looked at Shaun and they were like, I thought for an American hero you'd be a lot bulkier. But
Well, and then I tell them, no, I'm the hot one.
Yes, he's the hot one. That's right.
So I was at a wedding. I missed the entire game.
God damn it!
I
wait,
heard I heard
we're
they
in a
won.
wedding on a fucking Sunday.
Hey, I
Why
didn't
don't we
set it
have
up. I didn't set up the wedding.
why don't we have Fisher here then? Like he fucking Fisher watched the game.
I'll
Fucking
tell you,
Christ.
you have a wedding on a Sunday, you better believe I'm not coming.
Mm.
You
So it's in
maybe delay the wedding a year and save up some more money. That's all I'm
yeah.
saying.
It was in New York City, is that correct? So
Long Island, but yes.
but they have two football teams there. So you can't just say, oh, okay, it wasn't in Buffalo. No, there's the fucking Jets and the Giants. And
That's
even though
true.
they both suck, like that's not an excuse.
Well, how was the game?
I don't know. I was hoping one of you watched it. Fucking
I
game was
was
amazing.
I would stop short of amazing, but it was good.
What?
It was an efficient win over a bad Raiders team.
What did the all 22 tell you?
Listen, Greg's gonna hate me during this pod.
Whoa.
No, really? Are you really
No,
not happy?
no, I'm happy they won. I this Josh Allen played exactly what I think the offense needed to play.
Okay.
He
Okay.
played. It was at one point. I think he had 13 completions for less than 100 yards. It was that type of start. Legitimately, he was like 13 for 13 for under 100 yards, which is not a Josh Allen stat. You know what I mean? Usually, when Josh Allen has 13 completions, he's already up over 200 yards. He was dinking and dunking all the way down the field, which again is what I have called for. It was the game plan for this game. It worked perfectly this game. I just the only thing that scares me is can we find a middle ground? I'm just curious if there's a middle ground of him dinking and dunking and going deep because I think there was one 29-yard pass this game. And
Yeah,
that
that
may
was
have been the deepest pass all game.
and that was to Gabe Davis off of like kind of
Yeah, and there's a
a play.
defensive offside, so it was he knew he had the penalty, so he whipped it down.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was the other. Davis had two long catches in this. That was the other
That's
one.
it. I'm not complaining about
I get it.
today. It's just one of those where I go, I've been you know me. I've been calling for the dink and the dunk for
Mhm.
years with
Oh,
this guy, and it
Kyle's a huge
worked
dinker and a
today.
dunker.
It
A
worked.
yacker. He's a
It
big
worked.
yacker.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it worked today, and I'm so glad it worked today. And he, like I said, it seemed like he played within the game plan.
Can I have
Everything
a
I've been calling for worked today.
I have a metaphor for Josh Allen's play. Like you were out late drinking with the boys and the wife was real mad and you were, like you had it out at 3 a.m. and the next day you come home and like you do the dishes, you set the table and you make dinner. Like that's what Josh's first 13 plays. It's like, all right, I was a little reckless last game. So little dink here, a little dunk there. Everything's fine, right? We're
That's
all fine,
perfect.
right? And then next week against what are we playing? The Commanders? Holy shit. He's playing the fucking Commanders. He's gonna be in our nation's capital. He's just gonna like fly his hog out and just with a fucking flag on the end of it and whip that ball over the field.
I want to save it for a couple minutes, but I have a Jets take because I wasn't here last episode.
Oh,
but I will say, having not seen this game, there is part of me that wants to, quote the old Chris Rock bit where it's like, you don't get credit for something that you're supposed to do. You're supposed to beat the Raiders by 20 points. They stink.
Okay. No, this is different. They fucking killed them. I was actually hoping Kyle would be like, oh, I didn't like this play. I didn't like that. Because I would be very interested to hear anyone that had legitimate gripes about what there was. Like they used Kincaid like crazy, some set plays, they threw screen passes. Like this was a game where it was just so satisfying that's what I kind of needed. The defense just looks really good. And I know they're playing Jimmy Garoppolo, but they abused them.
Man.
It was what is his name? Josh Jacobs had negative yardage, 9 carries for -2 yards.
Wow.
If I haven't double checked that stat, but that's at least where it was in the fourth quarter.
Also, again, and to put it in perspective here, the Chiefs won against the Jaguars today, 17-9.
Yeah.
And the Bengals, it ended up being a close game. They lost 27-24, but up until deep into the fourth quarter, Joe Burrow looked terrible.
Yes,
so
I watched a lot of that Jets game.
Those are 2 other games.
Oh, I'm sorry. I watched a lot of the
Bengals game.
I watched a lot of the Jets game. I was thinking of Zach Wilson, him looking terrible, and how the Jets are done. I didn't watch any of the Cincy game.
So those are 2 offenses that we're looking towards. And again, I agree. This was the perfect. I said this when we went over our schedule preview that I loved this home opener. It was against a supposed shitty team, 1:00 game. I go, that's what the Bills need. The Bills need that. I don't, I don't need the glitz and the glamour. I want to go to the home opener, tailgate, watch a blowout, leave in the beginning of the fourth quarter. And it's exactly what I did.
As long as Kyle's happy. You got a boner of the game? I got one. Maybe while I'm talking, because there was a lot of good plays.
I like how he thinks about it very analytically. Boner of the game.
Was my dick hard? Mine was not. I'll tell you what. Mine was a 1-yard gain for the Raiders, which is interestingly enough. I'm serious. There was a pass thrown and a screen pass to Jacobs, and he caught it and he turned around, and Greg Russo was just standing in front of him like a fucking golem. Like it was just fucking amazing, and he ended up scrambling around him for a 1-yard gain, but it was just so fucking cool seeing how good Russo was playing. He didn't get any sacks, I don't think, on the stat sheet. He had an incredible game, and there's a lot of good things to happen, but that was my favorite moment of the game.
I'm gonna go the Milano pick.
The Milano pick was fucking amazing too.
That was great. He read it perfectly. I wish he was an Italian, but he is great at football. You know what I mean? If he could just be something else, not Italian. And I would maybe buy his jersey, but I can't right now.
Wow.
The whole Italian thing, it bothers me.
All right. Well, he's sorry.
I'm Italian. Sure. I'm a little Italian.
I'm sure it keeps him up at night.
Speaking of Russo and the whole defensive line, are you a little mad they didn't come away with a 1 sack? I don't think they got a 1 sack on the day.
Maybe they didn't. They just dominated. Like Ed Oliver had the first play from scrimmage. Ed Oliver pushed a guard into Jacobs and he fell over. So Ed Oliver got a tackle without actually touching the running back, which was
pretty amazing.
That's another candidate for boner of the freaking. They played a really good game. We're not even talking about all the cool things that happened offensively. So Oh,
We're-
yeah.
There
James
weren't
Cook-
many wow offensive plays. There weren't like
No sacks. No sacks.
there weren't I mean that I maybe I'm not remembering, but like Cook had a great game. I guess he did have a long run at the end, but I missed that because I have to get home.
It was like the last play. So yeah.
Okay,
The
so that doesn't even count.
before we get to tweet of the game, all this, are you guys ready for my hot Jets take?
Oh yeah. I
You're
thought you
still
were-
on the
yeah.
Jets.
I'm still on the Jets. I didn't get to talk about this on the pod. We've had a week to calm down, and I fear that this season I'm gonna be the new Kyle. I'm gonna be negative. I can't read, and that means
Oh.
Kyle has to be positive and hot this year. Okay,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
gonna be
Ah,
that's how you gotta flip it. You gotta be
He's
me.
positively hot.
Here's why I think the loss the loss broke me a little bit. Let me explain why. We'll see if Greg gets mad at me here, but I'll tell you this: I think the Bills are good. I'm gonna start with that. Okay, Bills are good, but I think I realized for the first time, like I wasn't too mad during 13 seconds during the Bengals loss because I'm like, we got Allen, it'll happen eventually. And after the Jets game, I'm like, will it though? Like, because the duo of Allen and McDermott, like, how many times can they shoot themselves in the dick before we're like, oh, this is just kind of what they do every once in a while? Like it's one thing of like, oh, the other team just beat you, but like, do I trust Allen and McDermott to go 3 to 4 straight playoff games without being insane? Because I don't know that I do. I think I'm not even saying they're bad. I think they're both really good, but together as a duo, you have Allen playing amazing, then there's 13 seconds. Or you have McDermott calling a good game, and then Allen does 4 turnovers because he's playing hero ball. And just like, think of all the stuff that happened in the last 3 years, from being one of 2 teams to lose to Urban Meyer, to being the only team to lose twice to Zach Wilson in 10 months. You got the Vikings game, the Hail Murray, the Patriots win game. I worry. This is the existential crisis I had after the Jets game. I worry that the Bills are the Cowboys or the Chargers, where we win 8 to 12 games every year, but we're not winning the Super Bowl. No one thinks either of those teams are like, they're a trendy pick maybe every once in a while, but when it comes down to it, the Cowboys are going to lose to the 49ers and the Chargers are going to lose to the Chiefs. And that's what that game made me feel in my heart. That like, even when everything's clicking on all cylinders, McDermott's going to be like, we should go for a field goal here. Or Josh is going to be like, what if I dive for a first down 7 yards away from the first down marker? Like, there's just going to be those things that aren't completely clicking and fuck us up at some point within the playoffs. What do you think of this take? Am I crazy? Have I elevated to a new plane of consciousness? Am I the new Kyle?
You're not crazy. I think you're like a lot of other fans. Go ahead, Kyle. You tackle this one.
But I'm important. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not like, this team stinks. Allen's bad. McDermott. I just think the marriage between the two, I don't know, can get us through consecutive playoff games without one of them shooting themselves in the foot.
I think your fears are warranted. I think you didn't see today's game, and I think you see the box score and it's good, but you didn't see the offense today and the defense today, and you're still living off the Jets game. And
I think that's right. Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. The McDermott thing scares me. There was I don't know if this came over the TV, Greg, but right before, I believe, the Gabe Davis touchdown in the game, he trotted out the field goal unit.
Oh, yeah.
And
so
then
they called the timeout and changed it.
Yeah, he trotted out the field goal unit. The stadium erupts with boos. There was a player on the side, a Bills. I couldn't see it from where I was. There was a player on the sideline who, furious, throws the helmet, the whole thing. Mad as a coach.
So did that player that threw the helmet? did that play that was he on the sideline to begin with, or he was on the field
No,
coming off?
he was coming off.
Okay, and he threw his
And
helmet. Okay, that's
mad.
super
A coach had to run over to him, and then they tried out the field goal, call a timeout. Allen walks back across the field, is coming back out in the field. So there was a change of heart with somebody, and then they score a touchdown to Gabe Davis.
And that would have made it 20. So it was at that point 21-10.
Yes. So what I'm saying is like McDermott had his initial reaction is still kick the field goal, punt the ball. And today, I'm not saying it's changed, but that's why I believe your fears are warranted, because his initial reaction from 4th and 1 on our 3 or their 3, whatever it is still to kick the field goal.
Well, like, and even in that Jets game, I mean, okay, Allen plays like shit. Happens every once in a while. That's fine. That is what it is. But like McDermott / Dorsey can't like calm him down or even help him with. Remember, we had that 4th and 2 when the Jets were reeling. Like Rodgers pretty much just left the field 20 minutes ago. And it's like you kick a field goal, or you think you had that play where they like didn't accept that penalty that might have pushed them out of field goal range because they were like scared of a 3rd and 22. And you just have little moments where he short circuits, and it just feels like, even I know hindsight is what it is, but even just one of those 2 plays made the difference in that entire game.
I think that my opinion of them hasn't changed this season. And if you listen to this podcast, you probably know my take on it. It's that sports is just stupid, and that only one team can win, and they're good enough where they'll be in the conversation. Where they're seated is going to depend on games like that Jets game where they just fucking blew it, and that sucks. But someone tweeted out the comparison to 2 years ago, the year of 13 seconds, where they lost to the Steelers in the first week and they were just fucking terrible, and everyone thought the season was over. And then the next week they blew out Miami 35-10. Today was 38-10. And then that was the year that they had some ups and downs, but then they had that amazing playoff streak where if the coaching staff just squib kicked it, they would have beaten the Chiefs and gone to play the Bengals in the next round, possibly go to the Super Bowl. So you just got to get there. They're good enough to get there, and you just need things to happen to go your way. Now, one major thing has already happened. One major thing has already happened, and that's Aaron Rodgers being out. You're not losing to the Jets at home now. Zach Wilson's fucking terrible. They win that game 9 times out of 10. Allen was just a friggin' idiot. It happened the first game, so maybe next, all the other games he's not going to. Maybe he learned from it. And today was a big example. Maybe McDermott learned that, I will kick that, or I will go for it instead of kicking the field goal in those situations, because my team clearly showed that they have my back on that. So you just need some shit to go your way. Burrow doesn't look great. He hurt his leg again today. So is that another one that's gone? They're 0-2. It's just such a long fucking stupid season, and you got to hope that you're there at the end of it. And that's they can win the Super Bowl. You just need all of that shit to happen. Fair. And it won't. They never will. But
okay, yeah, okay. I'm glad we can meet at the middle at the end of this. Yeah, okay, perfect. Kyle, you have a tweet of the game.
Yeah, I have a tweet. This one, it was a little tough because I was at the game. No cell service. Halftime, I got to look around. Then I forgot. And then I was looking. This one is not from a Bills fan. This is from might be
Greg
a bot.
Oh, sorry.
This is again, who's it from? Carmen 602, and that's the same at Carmen 602. Josh Allen looks like a guy that would hold your hair if you were drunk and throwing up, even if he didn't know you.
Aw.
So,
it's
and
really nice.
I like I said, I don't think she was a Bills fan. Didn't tweet anything else about the Bills that I saw. So she just judged our quarterback by his face and said he looks like a nice guy. She didn't see him last week. She watched him last week play. It would have been like, this guy looks like he's on drugs.
He'd push your face into the throw up.
All right. Well, let's Kyle, you want to read the ad, or do you want me to?
I don't have the ad ready.
Oh, well, do you want to just freestyle it? Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do this by now.
I won't rhyme. if that's what you mean by freestyle. We
No,
know where I
I
stand
want
on
you to do a
freestyle rapping.
freestyle.
Folks, Kyle Turner here from Revolver
No.
Records. They
No.
have the hits.
Greg, no.
Oh shit, I had
Please.
it. I was there.
Put it on vinyl for Greg.
That's what a record scratching sounds like.
Our sponsor for this year is Revolver Records owned by Phil McNamara.
He doesn't ask us to say that.
Yeah,
no one
did
cares
he?
about the owner.
All right.
Although he's an excellent guy.
There's 4 locations. There's one in Hurdle in North Buffalo. There's one on Elmwood in the Elmwood Village in Buffalo. Then there's one in Williamsville and East Aurora.
Wow, good job.
I think.
Yeah.
Largest selection of new and quality vintage vinyl.
Stop helping him, Greg. Stop helping him.
Why? It's our sponsor. I'm helping Phil.
So
Kyle can't read. This is making it worse.
He's like shaking. Greg is doing this. Greg is doing this. He's literally holding it up and then also trying to look. So it's like moving and shaking. The
website is revolverrecordsinc.com. When you go there and you buy awesome stuff like records and that, use the coupon code in the hunt 10 for a 10% discount at checkout of the web store. That's because they're our sponsor and they're awesome.
And if you go in and you mention us, you might not get anything, but
you have to pay more.
I didn't think about this. The amount. I wonder now that vinyl's popular, or has been more popular the past 5-6 years. I wonder if like actual DJing is coming back, where you scratch records and not just move a little virtual turntable.
I think the record scratching turntables are digital, and they have been for like.
No, that's
20
what
years.
I'm saying. I wonder if they're coming back to actual
vinyl.
Like vinyl. Like someone's going to go in and be like, I need the Whitney Houston and the Rolling Stones, and I'm going to mix them.
'Cause I paint it black.
a perfect example.
I feel like we weren't funny enough in the first 20 minutes. Is anyone offended?
It takes us a while.
Yeah,
Sean's jet lagged.
I know Shaun missed a week and he had some things to say, and this game was a blowout. And we were also a little shitty about it. Mostly me. You were all right, Greg.
What about Latavius Murray?
He looks good.
That dude's a man.
Yeah.
Hottest
Hottest
Bill? Should we power rank hottest Bills? How do we get back in the funny category?
He just looks like a damn wrecking ball. Like it was fun to watch him. I haven't noticed Latavius Murray. I didn't watch him in the preseason. I didn't see him. So I didn't notice him last week because I was too busy swallowing stomach bile. But
it's funny that this isn't like ironic funny that the Raiders have Jimmy Garoppolo as their quarterback.
Yeah.
It is funny that that's the guy, Josh McDaniels, in his second stint as a head coach, is hitching his wagon.
Well, they probably wanted Aaron Rodgers. Like they had Derek Carr and they realized Derek Carr wasn't going to get them over the hump. So they got dollar store Derek Carr and Jimmy Garoppolo. So I think their plan was to try and get Aaron Rodgers. He was one of the ones.
If you don't get,
teams is going to go for.
If you just don't get Aaron Rodgers, just trade Devontae Adams and tank.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. If you, we've said this before. If you don't have like a top 12 quarterback, what do you?
Quarterback.
If you don't have a top 12 quarterback, what are you doing? What's the point? Like it's like if Giants fans are mad about their team so far this year, it's like, well, you're not going to win with Daniel Jones. Who gives a fuck? Lose.
They did win today. But
I know. Crazy.
What's funny? People here love Daboll. And so they go there and they call it like the NFC, Bills. And I'm rooting against him because I want him to come back to the Bills. I want him to get fired and come back to the Bills.
I was thinking about that. if he gets fired like midway through the season, would McDermott be like, "Oh, hey,
No chance. He's not getting fired
Well,
at
let's
all.
not forget
Everyone loves him down there.
they're following the same pattern the Bills did. A surprise playoff appearance, then you stink, and you get some better players, and then you get your quarterback, and then hopefully you go from there.
They might have to do some wild trade ups for sure.
Yeah.
I want you to know that if the Bills lost today, I was in full tank mode. I was I want them to lose so bad, and the Bills get Marvin Harrison Jr. That's all I could think of.
No,
if they
you
lost today.
got to be it's too late. You got to be positive and hot this year to be the new Shaun. I'm gonna be grumpy Kyle. I'm gonna do an all 22. I'm gonna start talking slow. Like,
let's hear Shaun do Kyle. Come on.
My name's Kyle. I fought in the Navy. Whatever, dude.
That's pretty good. Wait, who was that? Oh, that was Shaun. Oh, I thought that was Kyle talking. That's so weird.
Oh, is Kyle here? Sign up for the Patreon. So I could buy some more.
In the hunt. In the hunt 10.
That didn't even sound like me. Now we're really confusing them. Now they don't know what's going on. They're like, wait a minute.
This is a pod.
Kyles?
Just
Three Kyles.
3 Kyles.
We should do a 3 Kyles pod. It's me. It's me. It's me.
See how bad the pod sucks when they win? We have fucking nothing going on here.
Kyle acapella group or whatever.
Yeah.
That'd be great. I have the little harmonica thing.
They stink. They stink. They stink. Reminder to sign up for the Patreon. Joe B tier still available, but sign up for as little as $1 a month. That helps us out. Tons of bonus episodes up there for you to sink your teeth into.
I had a conversation on Thursday night with the bartender at Good Bar. The Jets were on television. He was talking about how good looking the Jets head coach was. And I was like, I got news for you. He's not. We have scientific proof. We have a podcast. And I was like, I think I may have gotten her convinced to sign up for the Patreon to hear our 3 episodes on ranking the hottest coaches. Where did Salah end up?
Kyle had him high, and me and you had him kind of mid tier.
I know I had him a little lower, and she's like, "How could you have had him lower?" And I was like, "I can't be attracted to someone if I don't like them. He's just not hot for me." And so she disagreed.
Did you then go, you know what's great though? The coach on the other side of the field, the fat red one. Mm-hmm. I had him really high.
I did have him super.
The one that looks like he's filled with helium. Yeah, I had that guy.
Are you talking about Dallas's coach? No, this was Thursday night, so they weren't playing the Cowboys at the time.
Okay.
So there was just a highlight of the Jets up.
Let's move to the question game today. Going back to a Shaun-led question game. Get yourself a nice Spencer Brown jersey. I heard he had a good day.
Yeah, they had that Dalton Kincaid chipman all day to help him on Crosby. So kudos to Dorsey and McDermott or whatever for having a nice plan there for keeping Crosby off of Allen's back. They were chipping and blocking all day. It was nice.
Very nice. Well, question number 1, what number is larger? Let's start with Kyle, since we did a bunch of voices making fun of him. What number is larger, Kyle? Catches by Dalton. What number is larger, Kyle? 4 or 2? What number is
I'm gonna go with 3.
What number is larger? Catches by Dalton Kincaid today, or the amount of albums by Smashmouth? I missed that you guys had a good Smashmouth time last week.
It was a tribute. It was what we do when people die.
I know that somebody once told me this one. I can't remember.
I hate you. I hate this. Smashmouth albums.
Smashmouth album. Did you see how he looked to the side to look at his Smashmouth collection? And he went 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, Smashmouth for sure.
I have all their albums on my wall signed.
Greg, Smashmouth albums or catches by Kincaid today?
Today, okay.
Today.
Kincaid had a good. He was hot, man. He might as well be walking on the sun. I'm gonna go with Kincaid receptions.
Kyle gets the point.
Damn it.
Smashmouth. There were 7 Smashmouth albums, and Kincaid had 5 catches. So, Greg, don't worry. You can start question number 2. Who
I
has
think
more...
I can pull this out and win this, though. I'm a believer that I can still do that.
Oh my God, I'm gonna kill myself.
Who has more offensive yards so far this season? The Bills or the UB Bulls divided by 2?
What do the Bulls have one more game?
Yeah.
Maybe it's 2.
No chance. God, the Bills did.
We're starting with
so
Greg. We're
little.
starting with
Oh,
Greg.
sorry.
Yeah. But they played the first week like Fordham, and they still lost. Yeah, they're. I don't know if they've won a game, but I know they've lost at least 2. And I don't think it was that pretty. Did they get? No, I'm gonna go with the Bills.
Okay.
I don't think that, if you're dividing it by 2, I don't think not in 3 games. So I know the Bills didn't have a lot of yards in week 1. Go ahead, Kyle.
Going Bills, Kyle.
I don't even know if UB's good. Okay, so the Bills had roughly 400 today and probably 200 last week. So UB had to have 200 yards of that's 600. Oh, divided by 2. You said UB divided by 2?
Yeah.
I got to go Bills.
Bills
You're
had
both right.
450
It's both the Bills. Bills had 764. UB had 1,041 divided by 2, 520. So not that close. I thought I could get one of you going, but I could not. Kyle, you're ahead 2-1. So we're going to start with you with this last question. A favorite, a fan favorite. Which one of the following is Josh Allen not following on Instagram? Is it A, Jill Kelly? Is it B, Jesse Pagula? Or is it C, Jack Eichel? Which one of the following is he not following on Instagram?
Doesn't he hate Jack Eichel? I'm going Jack Eichel.
Okay. Going Jack Eichel.
Does he hate Jack Eichel?
So
I've heard through the grapevine, Marvin
Kyle's,
Gaye.
Oh, that's a new segment. Kyle's Grapevine. Let's go to Kyle with the grapevine. Well, I got one for you.
What have
here.
you heard of the
Guess
grapevine, Kyle?
who hates who? You're
I
not
heard
gonna
that
believe this
he
mashup.
hates Jack Eichel.
Kyle, what else have you heard through the grapevine? Let's do a segment.
Let's hear this.
Dude, it's one a week.
Okay.
That's how we keep them coming back.
I got it. Yeah. Some grapes.
So, Greg, you need to go with Jill
Yeah.
Kelly or Jesse
Yeah.
Pagula here.
Well, I mean, I can go with the right answer, which is apparently Jack Eichel, and just punt, but I'm not going to do that. The fans would be booing me, and I'd have to get my offense back on the field.
That's true.
Jill Kelly or Kim Pagula, or was it Jesse Pagula? Jesse Pagula. Okay, so Jim or Jesse, Jill or Jesse. He's got to be following Kelly. So I don't know. I'll say Jesse Pagula.
Jesse Pagula is correct.
Damn.
We are going to overtime.
Well, there goes Kyle's grapevine segment. All bullshit.
Yeah. Well, that's a key part of Kyle's segment is that it's
That
always
complete
bullshit.
Nice.
I gotta talk to my grapevine guy.
Yeah.
See what's going on.
Tiebreaker. Tiebreaker. I guess let's start with Kyle. How many albums have Smashmouth sold in the U.S.?
Oh shit.
Albums sold in the U.S.
Oh, so it's just closest?
Closest gets it.
Man, that first one with like All Star had to be fucking diamond.
I don't even think that's the first one.
I'm gonna go 11,825,156.
Okay,
Don't ask me to repeat the number.
I won't. I wrote it down. Greg, what do you think?
Albums sold in the US?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna go 15. Like I know I got them beat, so 15 million.
Oh, 15. I thought you were just going 15.
No, it's I'm assuming the answer is like 78 million. So I'm gonna say 15. Just
So,
to,
what do you think they're the Rolling Stones? It's
no,
78 million.
I think people fucking bought a lot of Smash Mouth albums. There's a lot of
Kyle wins it in overtime.
What?
The answer was 6.4 million.
Mhm.
that's it.
Yeah, in the US, just in the US. And remember, album sales took a, they fell off a cliff at a certain point. So
Because of COVID?
yeah.
Don't like a certain amount of digital downloads like equal an album sale?
Because of
Um,
COVID.
Jesus.
Before
Well-
we preview next week, did you guys see this Takeo Spikes tweet?
Yes, that's bad.
Shaun, did you see it?
No, the recent.
Let me read this to you. Yeah. So Takeo Spikes was the led the charge today.
Mm.
So he came in, he did the whole thing. So he tweeted out, "Congrats to Buffalo Bills at Buffalo Bills." He added them. Congrats to at Buffalo Bills for getting a dominant win today, or a win in home opener. I wish I could have stayed for the entire game, but seating accommodations were not the standard. How are you going to have the NFL legends supporting with this obstructed sample size of a view? Felt like I was in timeout. And then shared that
Oh, wow.
It's hard to see. There's just a big
Picture.
there's a big section of the
Yeah.
stadium in his way. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's I'll say no NFL team gets everything right. A lot get a lot wrong. And I think hopefully we have him back in the new stadium. But like, why is that even a seat? Like, who was in charge of bringing him into that section of the seating in the suites and being like, this'll do? Like, that person should be fired more than the higher ups who are like, this is where we bring the NFL legends. The guy escorting him has to be like, I'm going to get you somewhere else.
Yeah. Hey, you can't see the end zone from this seat. Maybe would you want to see the end zone? Is that something? I know
Yeah.
you play defense.
You're
Maybe you
Takeo
don't like end
Spikes.
zones.
How about I just take you to the sideline?
No.
Do you want to go stand on the sideline and watch the game?
Did you see the other
Takeo
tweet of-
Spikes likes long walks on the beach, hates end zones.
Did you see the other tweet of the guy complaining because he was sitting behind Takeo Spikes and couldn't see around his neck? That fucking guy's neck. Like if I fought Takeo Spikes and the only thing he could use was his neck, he'd still beat the shit out of me.
Oh man,
His
he would.
fucking
It'd
neck
be
was
like, you ever
huge.
watch that video like giraffes fighting?
Yeah, just banging the neck.
That
Yeah.
would be him.
He'd fucking put me down so hard.
Yeah, it is crazy when franchises don't treat like their ex-star players well, because it's like, well, how do you think they treat us? Like the Spikes played there for years. They've spent millions of dollars on him. It's like Greg Bouck's coming to the stadium. He's sitting on fucking, a cardboard box, and like nachos are $15. They don't give a fuck about you if they don't give a fuck about Takeo Spikes.
It's pretty bad judging by the hole in this satellite picture.
You know what?
See what you opened, Shaun? You see what?
Yes, I'll stop. We could all use a little change. Change.
God, I want this season to be over.
This is the Smashmouth season.
Yes, it is.
It's gonna give us more luck than Stained. Okay, next week.
So much to sue, so much to do, so much to see.
At the Commanders.
I have the lyrics pulled up on my phone, so I can just easily go through this. Most of the time, I wasn't doing this, but I wanted to go out with a bang. So
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
fair.
Next week, we're playing the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, which by the way, I won't be on that episode either.
What the fuck? I'm the one. Let's just stop potting. What are we doing? Why don't we just quit the pod? Oh my God, this is such a golden opportunity to not do this. The only person who wants to do this is no longer doing this. Why are we doing
loves
this?
doing this. How dare you?
Yes, you can tell from the excitement in my voice how much I love doing the pod.
Kyle, we need a key to the game to beat the Commanders. We need this. You can't lose to the Commander. You can't be 1-2 after this 3 games stretch here.
Well, here's this one. I don't know if you'll totally get this reference, Shaun, because I know you were never a loser who was into wrestling.
It's true.
But
That
back
was
in the
always very
day,
cool.
back in the day, and now he still wrestles. There was a wrestler named Sting. You remember Sting, Greg?
Yeah, he was not WWF.
It was WCW.
WCW, yes.
Yes.
Road
So
Warriors, all that
the
fun stuff.
police.
That's when I used to watch wrestling when Sting was, yes, exactly.
So
when Sting was wrestling, that's when I used to watch wrestling.
Sting, his whole shtick for a while when he was really popular is he would just appear in like the rafters. And the arena would go dark, and then it would be like a spotlight on Sting in the rafters. He'd be holding a baseball bat, right? That was Sting's thing, and the crowd would go nuts, and the wrestlers would be like, "Oh God," and run around.
I love
I
Sting.
think the Bills do the same thing with Daniel Snyder. Bring him back, put him in the rafters. And then everyone starts pointing up at the rafters, and all the commanders and the new ownership looks up, and there's just Daniel Snyder with a baseball bat, probably a few racial slurs carved into it or something.
They could just invite Snyder to their box, like wherever the Bills have a box, and like have him wear like I'm about to say the old team names, like have him have the old team name T-shirt on, and just have him sitting in the box. That would
give him a shitty seat like Takeo Spikes.
Yeah, the Redskins' key to the game is to invite Takeo Spikes and have him have a really nice seat.
Man, I want you to know that I totally just riffed that whole thing, and I feel really good about
it. I would have thought you wrote that down on Wednesday.
No, yeah. I'm surprised myself. Use that as the clip for the preview.
Kyle, you did good. Now you're a rock star.
Well, I think they win. They gotta win. I'm gonna say
Sam Howell's been looking pretty good. Eric Bieniemy, after getting no head coaching positions for a decade,
they came
and people
back today
hating him
against
and not hating him.
Denver.
Yeah, they look good against Denver. Denver 0-2, but Washington 2-0, looking scary.
I'm gonna say we win 28-14.
I'm gonna say another 4-touchdown win.
Jesus,
they should. They're gonna kill Sam Howell.
Listen, Sam Howell beat Arizona, who is better than what everyone thought, and just scored 31 on Denver, or 35 on Denver. And I think in the nation's capital, I think he's going to get patriotic. I think they're going to come out, American flags fucking flying, guns a-blazing.
That worked for Rodgers.
They're going to have the I'm just a Bill. They're going to have that plan because they're playing the Bills. And it's going to motivate them, and they're going to beat us 50-10. So get ready. What was the name of that? Schoolhouse Rock.
Yes. I got the reference immediately.
I couldn't think about it.
A quick update as our patrons know, we do an episode every year where we do put bets on five bets every year.
Yeah.
And of course, one of our bets was for the Bills to score 2 touchdowns in every game. Lost that week 1.
I forgot we made that bet.
Yeah.
The other 4 are doing okay,
I will say, and it's exactly what I told you guys, was I love the Kincaid bet, but Jordan Addison is going to be a problem.
No,
what was the Addison bet? What did he need to have?
Kincaid leads all rookies in receptions. Yeah, not even Addison. Now you got that kid out in
Flowers in Baltimore. He looks amazing.
No, the dude from
Rams? Yeah, the guy from the Rams. He set the record for
set the record for most receptions in 2 games or something.
Hey, listen,
like
it's a long season.
It's a long season. Stafford ain't gonna play the whole season. That guy.
There you go. Well, that is our episode. You guys have any final thoughts, any plugs, any sweetos?
Yeah, I as long as it doesn't
we need another host.
As long as it doesn't get canceled on Thursday the 21st, I'm going to be headlining at Mr. Good Bar.
There we go.
That show that got moved because some shit.
Come on out to see Kyle. He's a funny young man. He needs your love, your support. and your
Mhm.
laughter.
I'm gonna.
What was that? Is that $5? Was that free? What do they
I
do?
think
$5.
it's $5, but all of it goes to the comics.
Yeah. If you
And
get there early, you don't have to
that's
pay
fun.
$5 because the guy that takes the money at the door, he doesn't get there right
Yeah.
away. So
There
And
you
if
go.
you
There's
get
a nice
there
little tip.
and you mention in the hunt 10, I'll give you $1 back.
I'll give you
All
I'll give
right.
you a
There you
record.
go. There you go. Greg, will you be there as well?
Will I be? I am not on the show. Doesn't mean I won't be there. We'll see what
Okay.
happens.
All
But
right.
yeah,
Pretty
you
good.
never know. I have to get Kyle's apology for our fantasy football league
That's true.
See.
holding things up. If you won
Um,
fantasy training camp fantasy football and you're waiting for your prize, I'm sorry. Well, there's some red tape we're getting through. It's coming.
Well, speaking of coming, that is
Whoa.
the end of our episode. Sign
Are
up for that
Are you
Patreon.
satisfied?
Are you yeah, it was a happy ending. Go to Revolver Records and sign up for the Patreon, and they'll see you next week. I won't be here. I understand if you want to skip, but don't skip. It's still going to be good. Just because I'm not here doesn't mean it's not going to be a good episode.
Sweeto.
All right. Goodbye.
The Bills won.